अच्छा ठीक है ठीक है. Don't use this one, bro. I know you're gonna use this one. Hi, this is Tamzid. Thank you, Loud Max, for having me here. I'm going to talk a little bit about my debut single, Quit On You, which just released last month. So, this song talks a lot about being vulnerable, being emotionally available, and longing and heartbreak. So, let's get right to it.
You call me only when you're stranded, out of the blue, crash landing. You know I wish I could quit on you, like how you do, how you do, how you do.
So the lyrics of the song talks about allowing oneself to actually fall in love, and in spite of knowing that it could lead to a potential heartbreak or it could do damage to them, still going ahead and making yourself available and vulnerable at situations like this. The song actually was written by me about 2 years back. It has a lot of personal relation with my own life and with events that have happened to me in the past. So the song talks about, it's basically a message to this person who was once very close to me, and things didn't really work out well within the relationship, and we had to split up. And but that wasn't the way it went. Things didn't go as planned, and she kept coming back into my life. And every time I tried to heal, I tried to get past, I tried to move on, things just fell back into the initial state where I was just broken. And every single time I would try to move on, she would come back, and I would accept it as it was and get broken all over again. You call me only when you are stranded, out of the blue, crash landing. You know, I wish I could hurt you, like how you do, like how you do, how you do. So this basically talks about how I had this phase in my life when I would try to move on from a past relationship. I tried to move on from this past relationship, and it's that one phone call that you get when you're almost done healing, and where you know that, at that point, if you take that call and if you go ahead with this, you're going to go all the way back to square one and have to do the entire process again. And yet, you go ahead with it, you do it, you take that call, and the only thing that you end up with is guilt, remorse, and regrets. I assume a lot of people have felt this. It's quite a relatable thing. It's happened to most of us in our lifetimes. So the word crash landing here has a very special play, wherein I was in a relationship with this one stewardess, and things didn't really go well as planned. And after the relationship had ended, she still kept coming back, and all I could see was us crash landing again and again, all over again. You come only when you are bored, like I'm a clown of some sort. You know, I wish I could hurt you, like how you do, like how you do. So this talks about, it hints at the repeating pattern of how every time you try to move on, this person just comes back, and it's just for their own pleasure and the one night that they want to spend, and then soon after that they walk out after they get what they want, and leaving the other person in a state of misery and pain. So it also expresses the desire to hurt this other person, to be actually able to make them feel what it feels like, but not being able to come through with something like that because, not a person like that, not able to impose pain like that on other people. Yet there are some situations where the the partner is completely reckless and not bothered about how their actions actually affect their partners. So the chorus goes like, it's only a matter of time till you break me apart and walk out of my life again. And I wish I could fight off all the feelings inside me when you come running back again. Again, hinting at the repeating patterns where she keeps coming back, I keep trying to heal, and she keeps coming back and destroying everything that I've built until that point. And me just knowing that this is what's happening, and yet not being able to get myself together and get myself to accept the fact that she's not real, and everything that is being said and done at that point in time is not real, and still not being able to actually hold myself back and giving in every single time. So that's what the chorus talks about. Na chhod sakta, na chhod dena. I'm turning cold down on my knees. This actually talks about the emotional turmoil, the stress, the anxiety attacks that happen late at night when you think, is it you that is not being able to love right? Or is it the other person that is at fault here, where you're not able to understand where the fault actually is? Because I would say in today's generation, it's become a very common thing where there's so many stories of people falling into these toxic patterns without even realizing. And it leaves us wondering at times if we're the one that is doing something wrong or it's the other person. Where it's a state of confusion where you just turn cold and try to think what exactly is the problem here. Is it me? Or what exactly is happening? So, na chhod sakta, na chhod dena is like, neither can I leave you, and even if I want to, I cannot. It just doesn't happen that way because my heart still wants to go through with it, try to feel you one more time, and yet end up in heartbreak. On medication, I'm trying to heal. Mat karna phone, mat karna phone. So it talks about that one phone call that just comes in and ruins everything that you've worked on. You're trying to take care of yourself, you're trying to do self-care, trying to be on track with life, get ahead and pull yourself together. And every time you do that, you're just dreading this one phone call that might come one day and you don't know what you're going to do about it. Mat karna yaad, mat aana wapas. I need to love something that's real. So this talks about how you can see straight for a fact that the other person is not real. The things that are happening is not real. It's just fake. It's just going to remain for that little time being and it's going to disappear immediately after that. So it's me asking the other person, is it weird if I keep saying other person, other person? I'll just say her, actually. But yeah, I mean, the temporary affections and love that you're being shown is not real and it's not going to last long. And sooner or later, you're going to have to come to terms with it. And this is me telling her that, I actually need to move ahead with my life. I need to find real love. I need to make a family and actually have a future, which I don't really see with you because you're just playing games and at the end of the day, you're going to disappear, leaving me with all the guilt and the whole can of worms that I open when I pick up your call. I keep going around in circles, ending up with nothing but depression. Wonder why I keep falling for the same shit, same face but a different story. So this part is me thinking about how this is not just a problem with the other person. It could very well be something that is within me, where why do I always keep falling into these same situations? It's not the first time this has happened to me, and either it's the world is just fucked up and everybody just wants to spend their own sweet time and then fuck off after that, or it's just you not knowing how to actually deal with serious relationships or not being able to sustain a relationship well. So every time something like this happens, I just spiral into depression and not knowing what is right and what is wrong and being confused with the state of life. Wonder why I keep falling for the same shit, same face with a different story. So at this one point where you keep facing situations like this, you start to see everybody as the same face. It's the same person with a different backstory. It could be somebody from your work, it could be someone from your family, it could be someone from your friend circle, but they all have the same face and they're just going to do the same thing to you over and over again. So it's a really confusing state of mind where you don't know what you're doing wrong and why you deserve such a thing. At the same time, it also makes me reflect on my life's choices as to why it's me that has fallen into such patterns and such situations. Is it my conditioning, my childhood traumas, or things that have actually brought me to make choices like this in my life? So it's a lot of reflection that happened while writing this track. A lot of the things that I look deeply within myself and try to understand why I actually make choices like this and why I end up in situations like this. I feel so sorry for myself. I clearly see that you don't care. I'm addicted to your game and I don't want to interfere. So again, this talks about how I can see myself getting damaged. I can see myself taking the hit every single time. And I know that this other person does not care. It's not going to matter to them. The very next day, they're going to move on with their life as if nothing happens. And here I am, fucked up and in a state of complete misery, trying to understand what just happened. And just waiting for the next time it happens again, I guess. So it's a pretty pathetic state, and yet I don't do anything to interfere with this, wherein the person inside me is actually begging me to stand up for myself and to actually make changes in my life and not be this dumbass who just keeps taking shit all the time. So it talks a lot about actually self-improvement and seeing the reality for as it is and not being in a state of denial and actually trying to make changes in life. A little bit more about the process of making this song. The song was initially written by me while I was traveling. Most of my songs are written while I'm actually traveling. And also a really cool thing about most of my music is that I'm involved in all the processes, starting from production to writing, performance, mixing, mastering, everything. It all happens in my own personal studio, so which gives me a lot of creative control and a lot of freedom to actually experiment and find out newer ways to deliver the message that I have in my mind. And for this particular track, really glad that I had a really good. I have this awesome, amazing circle. I have this awesome, amazing circle of friends that always help me out with all the things that I need, with mainly being the right opinion and being very honest with what actually works and what does not. And so I'm glad everybody jumped in and really guided me through with this track. Shout out to Dishan Gidwani for helping me with this crazy guitar solo in this track. Shout out to Gautam Hebbar for helping me with the production arrangement. And to the whole team of Space Cat that actually brought this together and made this song come to life. Listen to it and let me know how you guys feel about it. I have another track coming out on the 25th of this month, 25th August. It's called Dream. So check that out as well. And excited for the release. कहाँ पे था यार मैं?
ये नट्स वाले चीज़ पे ये ऊपर चाहिए
You call me only when you're stranded.